What's up, everybody? Victor Pena here with Omniprint International. Today I have my good friend Victor Rubio with the best name on the planet, and we're going to talk about how to grow your business, how to scale with it, processes. We're going to talk about failure and challenges, how to push through. We're also going to cover how to bring more value to your customer and how to get orders. And stay to the end because we talk about how to get free commercial space when it comes to real estate for your print shop, all right? And we're starting that up right now. And so I always want to start it off with, who are you? Why should these people listen to you? And maybe tell us a little bit about yourself and how you got onto this journey.
Sure. So, Victor. Yeah. Company is RGB Commerce. We've been established as a corporation since 2009. And this journey started a long time ago when I was in college. I went to college. I was going to go to law school, and then the internet got invented. And I started learning how to build websites for my classes. And
what'd you say? Like the world doesn't need another lawyer? Or
right. At that time, though, I think Tom Cruise had a movie, so it was really cool. But my first job in college was a sports store right in downtown San Francisco. It was a 49ers store, and I quickly became the buyer. I was like a 19-year-old buyer at the store, buying merchandise from Adidas and Nike, well down the line and planning their entire season.
And get out of here at 19?
Yeah, at 19 I was buying, and so I kept those connections. And as I was learning what I was learning in college and learning on the real workspace, I thought to myself, like, I wonder if you can sell something online. So I learned some JavaScript and I learned some code and put some stuff together, and I built a website. There's SFO caps back in the day, and I could go into one of my manufacturers. They let me buy one hat if I had to. I'd take orders all week, walking on Friday with my shopping cart, buy whatever I needed at wholesale, ship it out Monday, and do the whole thing over again. My first hat was a Green Bay Packer hat. I still have that order sitting in my office.
Oh, that's awesome.
The hat's gone, but I got the order.
Yeah.
And so it's been growing ever since then, and learning how to do e-commerce in a separate life. I've done a lot of professional sports teams e-commerce. I got a lot of them off the ground when that was first starting, and I saw what my customers were doing. I saw that they had a lot of merchandise on the shelves, but they also wanted to sell more things that they didn't want to have the inventory risk on, or customize things. And I thought to myself, what a great opportunity to just kind of corner that market with my existing clients. So that's pretty much what led us here.
So when do you select, like when you do DTG or DTF, or how had that transition been?
I've actually just completely transitioned out of DTG.
Wow.
So I got rid of my pre-treat machine to open that space up for other things, and I've gone full DTF. With two prints, I feel like the hand of it is very smooth. Customers like it. The definition is better. The colors are better. I don't have any more head strikes, which I never did.
There you go.
Oh wait, I'm out of warranty, so it's okay. I did have one, but
that's hilarious. They said every customer ever.
Right?
Yeah, man. No,
I never had a head strike until after the warranty, bro.
Yeah, exactly. Never.
But yeah, we've all had them, right? And so it just it reduced my risk. It increased my profit margin. It increased the output. And all of those things you can do, they do end up paying in dividends in the end.
Oh, I love that. I love that. So what happens, guys, and maybe you could do it for your business, right? Think about what really is the mission of the brand. Mm-hmm. This took us a while, right? At the beginning, we had no mission, no vision. It was like, hey, you know what the mission was? Don't go bankrupt.
Yeah.
Make payroll.
That was,
and then
that was
pay the
my
electricity bill. That was initial
my
mission.
wife told me that was my mission to begin too. Don't go bankrupt.
Yeah, exactly, right?
Yes.
And then you're like, okay, well then what are we all here for? And then we got to come up. So it took us some time to figure all that out. And then that helped me make decisions fast.
Yeah.
If it doesn't fit, then I ignore it, and go from there.
Yeah, and the machines themselves, they allow you to fit into a lot of areas. Like I said, all the different business models, the type of garments that you can produce on. It's just So my company name is RGB, and we've got the 3 colors. But if you know anything about it, it's like the 3 colors of your monitors,
Yep,
right?
yep.
But our slogan is 3 colors, millions of possibilities.
Oh, I love that.
You can
Yep,
actually
yep.
take those 3 colors and make almost any color, right? So that's sort of our philosophy. So we're trying to provide everything in that vertical, that merchandise vertical.
That's so good. And so for the audience, like how can the audience get a hold of you? What's the best way if somebody wants to order from you? And we're gonna tag them below, guys. So make sure that not only are you following them, but dude, show like if you need any of these services, make sure you order from people like him because you know you're gonna get good quality.
Yeah, and I can also
that.
help with setting you internally. Like operations is key. You need to have
Big
good
time.
procedure, because if you're bogging yourself down with where was that art or what do I need to price again or whatever, that's time wasted that could be turned into actually generating
Yeah,
dollars.
dude, we could do a whole video just on the stuff that you do to organize your business.
Oh,
It's
I
nuts.
think yeah, and we
Yeah,
could.
we gotta do one of those.
One of these days, because I'd be more than happy to share that stuff. None of it is secret.
Yeah.
It's just being organized up front, and it's all the preparation, all that time that you spend ahead of time, nailing all that down. You don't have to ever do it again. So you're being proactive, right? The hardest part of a business is being reactive, and if you're always reactive, you can't get ahead of it.
Yeah, I love
So
that.
so try to be proactive where you can be, especially in those areas that you know you need to have answers, like pricing.
Dude, I love that. I love that. So where can people get a hold of you?
So my website is rgbcommerce.com. Feel free to, my cell phone is on the contact us page. That's the kind of personal
Get
touch that I
outta
like to
here.
give.
Wow.
Yeah. So feel
Do
free
not
to
call at
text
1
me.
a.m., all right?
No. But you can text me. You can reach me on Twitter or Instagram. It's also RGB Commerce. And then on Facebook, it's Sell More with RGB.
Ooh, I love that. I love that. So I want to talk a little bit about some challenges, right? So because a lot of things that I see when people hit a challenge, they quit, right? One thing about me is I fail continuously, right?
You have to.
And then I just beast mode through it and get to the other side, right? Fail as fast as you can. So, what kind of hurdles did you have starting up, and how did you overcome those?
So I had seen screen printers run. I've seen embroidery machines run. I've seen people do sublimation, but I had never done it myself. I had an idea of how it works, and I had a really good understanding of Photoshop and Illustrator. So all that pre-development stuff, I was good. But there's a learning curve in learning how to use these machines. No one said it's not plug and play. It doesn't say Hasbro on the side.
Yeah,
it's a complex machine,
And it's a business too.
and
on
it's a
top of that.
business.
Yep.
So just on the machine side, though, it takes time, but it's worth the effort. The machine runs well. It prints well. I use Gamut inks. They work really well on my machine, and my customers are really satisfied. So that's proof that the technology that I'm using, the equipment, works, because at the end of the day, my customers, who are very particular and they want to make sure that everything is up to their brand and their specs, they're happy, then I know that validates the process. Other issues is just customers.
Yeah.
That's always a thing. You're always
Handling
hunting for customers. And me personally, my next biggest hurdle is not so much the equipment anymore. I think it's deciding whether I want to move into a warehouse or a storefront.
Yeah.
I haven't decided what I want to do yet. It's there's benefits for both, and so those are going to be my biggest things right now.
Yeah, so I love that. So guys, when it comes to number one, like these challenges you go through, okay, you go through a learning curve, and you actually spend the time to learn and to spend like that effort to be experts. In our wall, one of our core values is being experts, and that takes a lot of hours for us to be experts at something. But one thing that like you guys have to understand, and I do some coaching, especially coaching for my team too. A lot of winners here that are not accustomed to losing, right? If you guys don't educate yourself first, and then have the patience to fail, and not like be so like I guess you would say mad at yourself for failing on something, fail through it and then do it again, because You're expecting yourself to be great at something that you don't even know. Like, think about that. You're pissed off at yourself for not knowing something that you never learned before, and then you stop, and then that breaks you down, right? You're a high performer. I only do stuff that I'm good at. Dude, do stuff you're bad at, suck at it, and then push through.
Absolutely.
That's one thing I want to unpack for you guys, and he did that. The other thing is, I always say the number one thing that you can do is invest in your education. It's the number one payoff. It's not crypto. It's not real estate. It's not. You invest in yourself. And I'm doing a list of traits of winners from these interviews. One trait that I see in you is that you invest the time to educate yourself. And it's time that you like for yourself, and it's time that you invest. So you're always showing up to the trainings. You show up to the Wednesday lives where we're talking about how to improve your business. You do, you go to events. Like, you're always there learning.
It doesn't stop.
Yeah.
It doesn't stop.
What would you say for people like on that?
Whatever side of you is that curious side, grow that. And that'll help push you into learning more. I hate doing repetitive tasks. I just can't stand it. So my curiosity forces me to go and look how I can make that faster or automate it. It's invaluable. Or it's valuable. I'm sorry, I might use the wrong word. It's very valuable. You got to be willing to go out there and learn things that you don't know how to do. If you don't, then you're going to pigeonhole yourself into this area that eventually you're going to be unhappy with because you're not growing.
Yeah.
I had never run an embroidery machine before in my life. I bought 2 of them earlier this year, and now they're running like crazy. And yes, I broke needles. And yes, I've broken string. And yes, I've messed up $99 jackets. And God damn it, that hurts. But you know what? It's an investment. And so it's worth it. It really is worth it. Because if you really believe in this is what you want to do, and you want to grow it, and you want to live off of it, and you want to make income, and you want to make, you want to bring in those dollars, like you say, right? You're going to crash. You're going to crash every once in a while, but you got to get back up. We've all seen Rocky. Doesn't matter how hard you get hit, right? Kentucky Fried Chicken. How many times did he make the recipe, right? Like, those are all the stories that you hear all the time, but they are so true. They are so true. And every single one of those shirts that I ruined during DTG, I repurposed them and made them rags, and they actually had some worth at the end.
Yeah, see, there you go.
So all the bad stuff that you do, just turn those into rags and clean up and start fresh. And I just can't underscore that enough. Just everything you do, be curious on how you can do it better, and that'll drive you. Whether it's free, it's YouTube is amazing. Website, the Wednesday things. I mean, some people may think that I'm a pro, and what am I doing there every Wednesday? Because every once in a while I hear something that I didn't know or I didn't think of, and I take it back with me, and it's worth my time.
Yep.
And if I can do that from the comfort of my home or my office 1 hour a week, you can do it.
It's nuts. So guys, winners educate themselves. I'm seeing it over and over again. And like, dude, you guys are gonna go nuts when I release like this video where I distill the traits of winners. You guys are gonna be like, damn, that's on point. All right, so and that's one of them. So how are you pushing through when you fail?
I cry internally a little bit, and then I just pick myself up and just do it again, but not the same way, right? I don't try. I adjust.
Like you hit the brick wall, you go around the wall the next time,
or over, or
you
start digging at it or whatever. It could be even some of the most minute things. My DTF, I was having some issues and there was a little bit of bleed. So instead of doing him at 2.5 minutes, I did him at 2 minutes or whatever, some minutia of a thing. So it takes some time, it takes some testing. If you look at one of my bags, the first time when I started sublimation, I wanted to figure out what the time and temperatures were on this bag, and it had like this rubber seal on the inside that I didn't want to melt. And I'll show you the photo one day. Every single time I did 1. And then the next one with a Sharpie, I'd write 2 and 3, and each one would get better. And I did like 15 of those bags, which cost me like $7 a piece. But when I did those 15, that last 15, it was perfect. I knew what the settings are.
There
I
you
knew what I
go.
needed to do. It cost me $50 to figure it out in hard cash. Like I had to pay, right? Because you got to buy that, which isn't a lot, but sometimes it's more or
Yep,
less, but it's
yep.
still a cost, right? And now I make those bags. I churn them out all the time, and all that time invested has already been paid for, and then some.
Dude, I love that. I think I see a lot traits of people that don't win. They focus on how many shirts I wasted
Nope.
and all that versus pivoting and doing it different.
Yeah, when I did that bad bag, and then I did the next bag that was better, I felt that first one wasn't a waste because the second one's better, and I keep doing it better,
Yeah.
and I keep doing it better. And don't worry, sometimes I get the anxiety, and I look at my machine, I'm like, I don't even want to touch you, I don't even want to see you, I don't want to, like today's not the day, I just can't handle you today.
Yep.
And that's fine. I take a break, I step back. Sometimes when things are just going really bad, I stop.
Yeah.
I just stop and I'm like, you know what? I have to reset myself. I'll come back, I'll go eat lunch, or I'll come back the next morning, and then I hit it again, and the machine's in a better mood, I'm in a better mood, and we just start kicking it out, cranking it out.
It's crazy. It's crazy.
It doesn't have to all be like 1, 2, 3.
No.
You know, I know you feel like you want to throw it out the window. I want to throw everything out the window at some point or another,
Yep.
but I still come back to it and I figure it out.
Dude, that's awesome. Dude, this is how you go through failure. This is how you push through and go around it. And these are the people that I'm bringing here that are doing it every single day for you guys to take that in, right? And to win. So, dude, I could talk with you all day. Part of like what I like to do in these shows is pour back into you guys. It just so turns out that in these last 18-ish years of doing business, I've gone through pretty much every roadblock, from marketing to sales to people to real estate to everything. And my intention is to help with the top things that you need help with right now. That's a challenge for you that I could pour back into you and say, so what would be like some things that you're trying to figure out that I might have already gone through that I could help you with?
My next challenge is going to be throughput, because I can see the level of sales going, and I have my 330 TXs, and that's one sheet at a time. And though
Yeah.
it may be a 13 by 19 sheet, that still has its limits.
Yeah.
And when I come back to you and say, hey, I need to be able to do rolls in a day, I'm sure we're going to have that discussion.
Yeah, for sure. So one thing I can tell you is that you don't build anything great by yourself.
That's true.
And so you're teaching your son now. You're gonna run out of sons, and you're gonna run out of space.
Yeah.
That's been my journey, right? So
Space is a big challenge right now.
yeah, it is. Dude, let's unpack that. I can help you there because I bought this building we got the keys like 3 days before COVID shut down, right? 36,000 square feet empty,
Yeah.
right? Just like when you buy your machine and others. So one thing I got to say, every single business owner that has any orders and like has to buy their commercial warehouse space. Okay, the number one mistake that I made is paid rent for too long and stayed in a small space for too long.
Right.
And there's two sides of it. One is you will fit the space that you go into. So, for example, we were at 6,000 square feet before this building, and now it's 36,000 square feet here, and we filled it up. And we did the same before that. We were in 1,500 square feet back in like 05, 06. We went to 6,000. That was monumental. I was like, oh my God. But that's the first one that I purchased.
Right.
And it was scary, right? But my point is, you will fit the shoes if you do the work.
Right.
If you put yourself in that space, especially you that you're like a driver and you gotta get stuff done, you'll feel it. So that's a key thing, observation that you could do, because you don't want to have a space that's too big for you and wasted.
Right.
And I really haven't seen that. At least my experience hasn't been like that for people that are pushing and selling and doing the things that you do at your scale, right?
Yeah, one of the biggest questions that I have in terms of a space is a warehouse space
Yeah.
or a retail space. And I know that there's a lot of problems with retail, and the retail traffic business wouldn't be the primary source of
Yeah,
my income.
yep.
But I always think about, like, what does it mean to have a presence in the community, especially with the type of customers that I have.
Yeah.
But then again, there's a premium for that.
So
So again, I got to pull out my spreadsheets and run those numbers and really figure it out. But
let me give you some advice there. So
Absolutely.
one of my biggest passions besides this is, and my wife is real estate. And I've gotten to learn by doing. I don't talk about anything that I haven't done. So when it comes to your acquisition of real estate, like I'm saying, everyone should do it once you have income, because it will end up being free. All right. How to get a free commercial building? I'm gonna do it right now. All right. Why is that? If you spend $1 million on a commercial building, okay, you can do what's called a cost segregation or depreciation on the first year, which is typically going to be like 35, 40, maybe 50% of the purchase price. So, for example, let's
I
say
did that with the machines.
this is another level.
Yeah.
Because you're writing off equipment, right, and depreciating it. But this is a building. Okay, so what do? You buy the building as yourself, and you lease it to your company. Okay, and now you're your own landlord. So those rent payments are going to you. All right. The depreciation, that means that if you put in $1 million of like the purchase price is $1 million, your down payment, if you get an SBA loan, is 10%. So you pay $100,000 down payment, okay, for that $1 million. You get a write-off of $400,000 to $500,000 that year that you can spread out for until you use it up.
Right.
And what does that do? So you pay yourself rent, and then you have income that you're offsetting by that purchase. It is the biggest no-brainer on the planet. Figuring out if you put that on a spreadsheet and you figure out that I got a $300,000 write-off from my $100,000 leverage, you're like, why didn't I do it sooner? And then you outgrow that space, you rent it out to somebody else, and you still are able to depreciate and write off rents. You get the new one and you do it all over again.
That's awesome.
So you cannot lose if your business is viable and you're making any sorts of income, because the government, the SBA loans are 10% because they want you to grow, and they incentivize you to do that. Even less if you can do it.
And you use that same SBA loan over and over. You keep turning it
Yeah,
over.
you what I've done is you refi out. This is the other disgusting killer. Okay, that's amazing. That's what I'm telling you. So you let's say you outgrow it. 3 to 5 years is your prepayment penalty for SBA, right? And the building value went up. So let's say it went up to 1.5 million, 2 million. You get a new loan and cash out up to 75, 80, 90% of the value, depending on what the loan is. Don't do it right now. This is 2022. Wait till the rates go down and all that. And then guess what? The money that you get cash back is tax-free. And you're re-leveraged with a lower rate, lower payment on a higher loan amount. And you grab the 3, 4, 500 grand. You get your 100 back that you put in, and then that you already wrote off, by the way. That's how you get a free commercial building. And now you have something that's appreciating over time. And if you move to another one and do it again, then you have assets that are outside of your business that help you all the way around to grow.
Wow.
Right. So that's super important. And let me unpack your question about retail. When it comes to retail, like I'm not comfortable yet with retail because of what's happening in that climate. What I mean is, if your business is a lot of wholesale and it's a lot of online, yes, you have impressions maybe that somebody can see your logo, right? But the amount of investment that you need to put into a brand for somebody to recognize it driving, it takes a lot of time and a lot of money. And you would see some people that know you say, oh, you know, that's my friend's company, right? But can I get the same amount of impressions at a lower cost per impression by doing what you do, having relationships or ads or something else? Mailers are coming back, by the way, guys.
I do. I get the nice shiny ones.
You know,
it's election season,
right? So the thing is you're paying a higher cost per square foot, and it's risky when you grow out of it, because I would like you to buy retail. I don't want you to rent retail, because you're making that, like, other guy like me rich by doing that, right? So you would buy retail, but what I'm concerned about retail is renting it to others, how successful their businesses are. There's a lot of the failure rate on retail is really high.
It's really high.
So like
malls are dead.
Yeah, my advice to you would be get a nice commercial space that it's easy for people to get to, and then you're not gonna lose, because somebody will need it after you outgrow it.
That's really good advice. I'm definitely going to take that into consideration. My wife and I have been discussing back and forth for a long time, and we know that early next year it's going to happen. And what are we going to do? That's going to weigh a lot.
Yeah. So like my main strategy for long-term wealth is real estate. You know, and primarily like apartments. So we buy multifamily apartments. They're all in Vegas. You know, landlord-friendly state. And ever since I've made any profit, I stay broke. It all goes to that. It goes away, and then I become starving again. And then it goes away. I do it next year. I take the depreciation. I do it again. I do it again. Before you know it, you know, we have almost 200 units over there, about 5, 6, 7 buildings, little by little.
Yeah.
And you can't lose with real estate. So I say every business owner needs to have something that you're putting your money aside that can pay you cash flow while you sleep.
Wonderful.
You know, so that's my tip to you. And plus, I've done it repeatedly. So when it's time, let me know. I got the agents, the tax people, the lawyers, all that stuff that can help you, so that you could win.
All this from a printing show.
Crazy, right?
Awesome.
No,
it's very valuable. I appreciate
business,
it. Yeah,
you know?
it's every single part of that business model. It's the printer, it's the t-shirts, the racks, but it's also the floor you stand on.
Yep. Yeah, exactly. The floor you stand, and your tax strategy, right? Let me cover that a little bit, guys. Like, stop not filing your taxes. Stop being shady and putting money away. Like,
by the way, Monday is the cutoff. Whatever this comes out, Monday's the cutoff.
Dude, there is not until I come from Mexico. Everything's under the mattress. I came here when I was 8 years old. I didn't get the best education when it came to taxes or credit or any of that
Parents
drama.
never talk money. Same thing. Family from Mexico, they don't talk money.
No. So the reality is, not until I figured out the IRS will let you write anything off. Okay, the only thing that they will not let you do is lie on what you're making. You're gonna get hammered. It's like my wife. I don't lie to her. Because, you know, even it's the same thing. It's like the IRS. I could be like, hey, you know what?
The penalties are harsher.
The penalties are worse, right? You're better off saying, hey, I made $500,000, but I spent $501 on building my business, and you're good.
Yeah.
And then from there, why am I talking about this? Because you need to look good on paper. You need to be able to qualify for stuff. You can't get no SBA loan if you're not reporting your taxes, guys. And I see that all the time. Hey, yeah, I just take cash and I put it away, and so don't do that.
No.
Because it doesn't help you
And
grow.
pay your sales tax.
Yeah, pay your sales tax. Like, don't be shady with that. Pay your employees their whatever, all these.
Social
In
Security
California,
and all
we
that.
pay like 60% burden, right? But do that, because when you grow, it's coming back.
Yeah.
Right. So, man, the crazy episode. Thank you so much, man. I know we can like talk for hours. Guys, remember to follow him. Reach out if you need orders, because you're not gonna go wrong. Also, make sure you're subscribed, right? Subscribe. Let us know in the comments too. You like to know about building your business more. You like to know about real estate for your print shops. You want to do all that. Like, dude, give us some comments, give us some likes, subscribe, share, give us some love. All right.
See you on Wednesdays.
Yeah, and see you on Wednesdays. We're gonna link it up. See you on Wednesdays. So there you have it, guys. Another session of Creators One-on-One, where I bring winners to show you how you can win, and all you gotta do is copy it. All right. We'll see you on the next episode. Let's go.